method of training, such as mastership and fellowship, into the curriculum. So as you do your interns, also think about furthering your studies in doing masters. In your internship life, you also be doing your program for your primary in fellowship in National Postgraduate Medical College and in West Africa College of Surgeons. When you pass your primaries, then you flow into your academic life for your training in your postgraduate study, where you flow for your fellowship in where you start your residency program in teaching hospitals, such as like Madonna University Teaching Hospitals and other teaching hospitals across the universe, federal medical centers, and also eligible, also accept scholars to do their program. The medical training towards becoming the fellowship in the medical field encompasses both the academic and the professional development study. This journey commences with completing your undergraduate medical training with a one-year internship. This grants you the full license to practice medicine or pursue your post-medical college education. The training involves processes that span within 6 to 7 years, involving leadership training, clinical experience, lectures, and management development. As you've seen in our midst, some of our alumni have become a consultant, and my humble self, a senior registrar. Means is a training in process. Training in process means you keep moving on after your as a undergraduate, now that you pass your finish your undergraduate study, you write your primary in any of the colleges, the West Africa College of Surgeons, the National Postgraduate Medical College. Then you flow into the medical world, into your residency. The residency program will avail you the opportunity to become a fellow, and your fellowship, you'll be accepted to become a consultant in your field of study, and there you shine as a bright star. Achieving this medical training in Nigeria is undoubtedly some of the highest quality education globally. So it makes you a world class in your global field of study. This medical college of training has influenced the development of medical tertiary curriculum and training of graduate doctors. The National Postgraduate Medical College of Nigeria was established in 1979. It's a primary body that is responsible for the planning, implementation, monitoring, and evaluating of postgraduate program, and it facilitated the program training of competent clinical specialists across the medical field. This does not come with its challenges. As you see, the Japa syndrome that is happening across Nigeria, this has been a challenge that has been affecting the medical world, as it will take an average of 12,000 doctors annually for Nigerians to tackle the patient-doctor relationship gap. This, unfortunately, the truth is that Nigeria will produce these numbers of doctors, but however, the Japa syndrome, because of the challenges and limitations that we face, make this emigration of these doctors to the other nations to benefit. The training you're giving here will help us in Nigeria to tackle all our healthcare challenges. So we always indulge on our medical students to find a way to stay back in writing your So we encourage our young doctors to stay back to tackle these gaps of doctor-patient gap relationship. And one of these ways to do that is for you to know that the best is in you, and wherever you are, you can face any challenge and tackle it. There are ways to get all this, and one of these is to have mentorship. Mentorship will help medical graduates to ensure that they stay back in achieving their aims. You can be anything you want to be. You can be a neurosurgeon, as you've seen in our midst, and you can be an obstetric and gynecologist. You can be anything you want to be, as long as you're dedicated and you have your heart in what you're doing. One of the facets of challenge concerning the working condition or training of doctors in Nigeria is the patient workload. The working environment of medical training is marred by the shortage of necessary medical facilities, infrastructure for accurate diagnosis and treatment, and availability of cost-effective materials for alleviating our challenges in tackling our healthcare diagnosis. Establishment of at least equipped center hospitals to alleviate situation to reduce doctors' frustration and improve patient care. Another aspect of this harsh condition is the work overload. Reports that have said initially that they will require 12,000 doctors annually to address this medical condition effectively. The JAPA syndromes that enable our doctors to immigrate outside the nation of the shore of Nigeria has deeply affected the patient medical load. And we need to know that doctors are the soldiers of our land. And as the doctors working up to 3 calls per week, they often experience physical, mental, emotional exhaustion. They have limited time for exams, preparations, and research. That means diminishing the qualities of their training. In understaffed environments, junior doctors are frequently subjected to unappreciative seniors, further exacerbating their workload. This leaves the little room for socialization, spending time with family, particularly for female doctors where they have challenge in specialization. In the medical training of Nigeria, some doctors succumb to the pressure of this stressful environment and turn the energy substances as coping mechanism, fully aware of the negative consequences. This urgent intervention of the training in the hospital ensure that doctors work under optimal conditions. Thank God for the National Postgraduate Medical College, the Medical Dental College, and the Nigeria University Commission, where they go year in and year out to ensure that these facilities are put in check, to ensure that the doctors are also well taken care of. Another significant challenge of the postgraduate medical evaluation in Nigeria is the lack of funding. Medical scholarships are often insufficient for the training with financial need. While doctors are highly respected in Nigeria and seen as a pride of families and community, they face immense pressure of support not only to themselves but to their extended family. This financial burden is particularly pronounced in our environment here, thereby leading to most of the doctors seeking alternate means of survival. You see, doctors want to take jobs in other menial jobs. Some want to leave the environmental institution to other first world countries where they will be appreciated. These are the challenges that we face in our environment. Despite the cultural stereotype, it is crucial that the training of doctors adequately compensate for their effort. However, the harsh economic realities have strained this national ability. Adequate facilities and salaries that match doctors' needs and contributions. Doctors frequently in our environment We have the bodies such as the Association Resident Doctors, the Medical Dental and Council of Nigeria. They always have a way of resorting to strike, thereby cutting and prolonging the trainings of doctors in their institution of training. So doctors frequently resort to strike to voice out their concern and their working environment, which are not effectively integrated into the system. This lack in medical advancement results in tension between the two forms of the training. To address this, the system needs to incorporate doctorate certificate into the postgraduate medical training, aligning with the existing university to combine both programs, such as what our first speaker has said. As you graduate, don't just think about being a fellow, but think of adding more to your certificate. Think of getting masters in your aligned choice of course, maybe in your anatomy, masters in public health, or in other choice to add to your degree. So to have a PhD, because in many jobs now in doctors, you need additional degree to advance them. Only your fellowship or postgraduate cannot get you those jobs now. So you need additional job in PhD. That's why if you're doing your internship or your start your residency, think of getting other degrees. Get other degrees. Get other degrees, your mastership, and also your pet on the achievement and the limitation of this system be tackled through patience and allowing others make rules for us, because we don't advance in the area of politics. We see politics as an aspect that should be left for others. We need to change these narratives, because if we don't make policies that will affect us, those that are not in the field will make policies that will be against us. That's why we doctors now, we don't just get a fellowship, but we are now required to get PhD to even get as a position as a vice chancellor. This can be changed if we change our mindset by going into the field of politics. We doctors should not just think of just going into field of medical associations. Those areas can help to trigger you with a support base to help your political field in making policies that will affect the medical professions. Like years ago, we used to have Surgeon General. Right now, there's no one speaks for doctors in Nigeria. The politicians make policies, and unfortunately, most of those politicals are the lawyers. We have to change our ways in embracing politics as a medical profession to enable us endanger policies that will affect us in a positive limelight. In conclusion, Nigeria postgraduate medical training system has produced accomplished fellows such like Dr. Mberi Ikechi, our renowned neurosurgeons. From nothing, he has a dream and he read to become the best. Also, there are other accomplishments in our environment where many of us have achieved our aims, and some may not be the best, but so far you keep moving, you can do anything. So far you are dedicated, you put your best, and you keep reading, and you achieve all your aims. Those that have identified this, you need to identify the aspect of the political lives of doctors and delve into politics to ensure you create political policies to support your professions. If not, others will make policies that will endanger your professions. And that endangerment has led to the popular Japa syndromes. So we need to change these narratives by empowering politics in medical profession to create policies to support.
you very much, Dr. Okpara. I think we can do better. Give me another round of applause, please. Thank you. While we keep on collecting our questions, I call on the second entertainment. Please, the entertainers, come forward and entertain the guests. Please, ushers, keep on collecting the questions. After this, we go straight to that. Thank you.
I read, what are some key skills or attributes that medical students should focus on developing if they aspire to specialize in neurosurgery?
We say that whoever asks a question should tell us where the question is going to. The lecturer that should, the lecturer that should answer the question, please direct it direct to the person.
What are some key skills or attributes that medical students should focus on developing if they aspire to specialize in neurosurgery?
One more question. This one says, Doctor Sir, I want to ask, as a medical student currently struggling with the basics of medicine, would you advise me to pursue being a neurosurgeon after this? Also, can I know the basic things needed to follow through in becoming and achieving this, that is being a neurosurgeon? I think it goes to the lecturer that talks about surgeon. It's neurosurgeon. This one says, how do you motivate yourself after a failure in medical school? I think this one can go to anybody. How do you motivate yourself after a failure in medical school? I reject it for all of you in Jesus' name. Now this one says, yes, it's a nice question, but we are not anticipating failure. What is your advice for upcoming medical professional who are so much money driven, and the fact that there are a lot of doctors present today but with few impact. This one says, what does a typical day in your life look like? How do you balance work? Hello? How do you balance work with personal life, given the demanding nature of neurosurgery? Lastly, what are the most rewarding and challenging aspects of your job? You have more?
What are the different ranks in field of medicine, and what are the requirements to attain it? Being
I can stand here. All right. Thank you very much. Isn't working. Can you all hear me? Okay, sir. Prof. Thank you very much. I expected a lot of questions on my aspect. Okay. I must say with absolute sincerity and honesty, currently in Ebonyi State and even in Owerri, we have WhatsApp group we've created for mentees. You know, thank God the regulatory bodies are here, the university, the chancellors. I must plead with the vice chancellor, like the Professor Elom, who is the vice chancellor of Alese Ekweme University. One of the reasons he developed, in fact, by tomorrow 10 a.m. we'll have an important meeting. Okay, mentorship. The problem, the paucity in neuroeducation globally, but more importantly Nigeria, is the curriculum. Let me say it. The neuroanatomy and neurophysiology timetable, Professor Felipe is not here, often is reserved 3 to 2 weeks to second MBBS. The medical student, I don't know the class we have here, most often at time they rush through neurophysiology, neuroanatomy, just at the eve of second MB. And these students will rush it. In fact, will be tired the management if they give options in the exam to answer. 85% of students will run away from neuroscience questions. Because it's the complexity and the connectivity of the brain is complex, that leaving it 3 weeks to second MBBS professional exam that will determine you coming into clinical is not better programmed. And that is one of the isolated reasons people do not come to neurosurgery. When you come to the clinicals, the central nervous system examination, many medical students, if I ask you people sincerely now, we take a sharp data, you discover that the phobia created in basic medical science is due to either non-doctors teaching neuroanatomy. If a non-doctor teach you neuroanatomy or neurophysiology, even the person often at time, the one teaching doesn't even, he will just be lost. It is a clinically oriented lecture. Like in Funai, couple of brainstem tumors are removed when I was to give a lecture on cerebellum, anatomy of cerebellum. Putting the picture, intraoperative picture of the cerebellum with the tumor, the post-op complete resection of the tumor, the patient at the charge, there was enthusiasm. More than 30 students say, you mean this man is walking? Then when I began to teach the tracks of the cerebellum, it was more like an interactive section. I'm not trying to demean any other profession, but I'm being honest with you. That is how to get them to begin to love that ray, the longest, the toughest subspecialty of medicine. And you will not regret it if you choose to be a neurosurgeon. That is on the preamble. Now, the question on the skills to have to be a neurosurgeon, it can't be overemphasized that you must be disciplined. You know, if you had ever opened neuroanatomy textbook, you will understand that. Do not be disturbed that is for brilliant people. No. All of us here, everybody here has got over 4 billion of neuron cells. The difference between you and you in terms of output is a function of how well, you have planned and you have prepared and you have been stimulated to read. If you dump the lectures, if you dump your book in every other lectures, waiting for exam timetable, then you will be crashing the program. And when you are crashing the program, you are not being trained to be a doctor. Last week Sunday, I was in a church just for child education. The bishop spotted me and said the night of St. Christopher's are here. I should come and give a talk on prostates. Because practically everybody above 65 years will have different form of lower urinary tract symptom. And if I wasn't a sound medical student, if I wasn't a sound resident doctor, I would be knocked off. Because the audience I am to speak to is educate academia. Many professors, you don't know who is who. And that is why I emphasize on need for you to be ready. Because opportunity never waits for those who come to those who wait. If you don't read, if you are not disciplined to read, if you are married as a resident doctor in neurosurgery, big problem. There is, but I overcame it. Before we came in, during our taking in neuro, before you even get into the neurosurgery, it's a different war game. You'll be assessing character, you'll be assessing fitness. They won't bring you in if you have health challenges that will make you, the minimum hour you will stand in the theater for neurosurgery procedure is 6 hours. So if you have low back pain, you have underlying problems, you cannot, it will be difficult to bring you in. Even you will run if you eventually come in. So if you are married, that article said that over 85% of doctors who got married while doing neurosurgery remain divorced. In our group, we said, no, but it's true. It was from British Journal of Neurosurgeons, and I think the impact factor of that journal is a very high one. And I used my idea to look at some of my trainers. I said, it's true. It's either one is not. To be honest with you, I don't want you to be discouraged with that because we navigated it. About 3 of us in our set were married. I am blessed with the beautiful wife who happened to be the Miss Madonna, and also who happened to be a graduate of this school. Is a pharmacist, and I have she was Miss Madonna 2007. What was my secret? The same thing my Eze, my community taught me. You say sorry when you are wrong. You say sorry when she's wrong. You say, because you have to apply. There is nothing like, otherwise the stress, the family pressure. You can do 5 presentations in 1 week as a neurosurgical resident. If you are quarreling with your wife, it's over. You cannot go. They have a funny way to put the whole load of problem. So how I navigated it was to now be a husband who can beg. There was a time, no, but it worked for me. There was a time I was practically transferring my salary. As he comes, I forward to her. I say, give me my upkeep. As he comes, please. I am not a comedy person. I'm saying a life. You understand that question on how you survive? That was, you need to apply this wisdom. Women love it when you say sorry first, when you break the silence first. It's not when you quarrel, you are waiting, you are the man of the hour, you want her to, she won't call you, and you will not concentrate. So what I noticed, if I say sorry fast and make up fast, I can move on with the stress of the work. And it was working for me. So in addition to telling you that you must read, because if you know how to read, you have it in your power to magnify yourself, to multiply the ways in which you exist, to make your life full, significant, and interesting. It is during word round, smart medical students take charge of the round. If you are not well read, you cannot participate in patient management discussion. I'm a consultant. I have senior registrar, I have registrars, I have house officers. Once they ask you, where did you train as a house officer? It's either you have done so badly or you have done so well. And I always ask that question. So try Madonna graduate. We want to. So far, we're not doing badly. Unapologetic about it. I am telling you, we are not doing badly. So For those yet to graduate, read as if somebody has anointed you. Somebody had told your dad you will amount to nobody. That is just what I will leave you on that question. Read for your life, that when books are open, you discover you have wings. Okay, I've handled the first two questions. How do you motivate yourself after failure? See, failure shouldn't be seen as a wrong thing. Somebody was saying, God forbid, I disagreed completely. Because Mr. Sanusi is here. Everybody must not pass MBBS. But if everybody pass second MBBS, they will start looking at this school. Some people will fail. Some people, if you fail, you come for receipt. The best surgeons are not actually those that pass with first sitting. To be honest with you, so whoever, that is one of the most important questions. I wonder why Prof was trying to, no. When you fall, it becomes a landmark to start afresh, more intelligently. There's nothing wrong in failure. You understand? There's nothing wrong in failure. We were 155 as at 2009. Only about 26 of us did the first induction. But do you know what? The remaining exam does not mean that you will not qualify. Okay? Do not be discouraged if you fail, but put it upon yourself to read so that you won't fail again. Okay? That is on that question. Money-driven profession. Let me tell you, money ordinarily flows when you are doing the right thing. And if you are coming into medicine solely because of money, to be honest with you, you will be disappointed. I want to be very blunt. I want to be if the sole reason why you want to do medicine, please go and do computer science and AI and other things, not medicine. But I can assure you with absolute certainty that you will not be poor. In fact, your community, police people will stop you on the road and say you're a doctor. Please go. Do you understand? The respect the community will give to you. You won't be poor. Don't be scared. You have what it takes. You will have what it takes to take care of your home, to take care of your wife and kids. But I will not guarantee you that you'll be exceptionally rich. I don't want to propagate neurosurgery as being very bogus. It is not cheap, actually. Patient care and neurosurgery without insurance is expensive. If you had costs to have any spine surgeries, brain surgeries, you will understand. But I'll be the last person to propagate that you should come in because of money. That will be misleading you. You do what your calling is, and you will do very well. Remember, we are a product of Fadede's vision. Legitimacy, honesty, and discipline should be NDCN boss will hear. Otherwise, you go to disciplinary committee. If you start practicing by corner, you will run into trouble and you'll be sued. And you will not come out of it. Yes, your license is gone. So on that, I've addressed it. What is your typical life look like? That, it's not easy. Let me give you an example. Until around 3 a.m. this morning, I was in the theater from 11 a.m. at Owerri till 3:45 to 4 a.m. in the morning. I haven't even had a cause to have a sleep. And I already made a promise that I will be here. But with God, with good planning, okay, with having a pure heart, the little time you have, you can use it to rest. Don't get scared because you think that neurosurgeons, Ben Carson today is a politician. He has finished. He reached 7 professors. And at the same time, he retired with numerous patients he has helped. And he went into politics. And if I must announce to you that I had the opportunity to have a congratulatory message from him when I wrote his secretary. And they organized a virtual meeting. And hopefully he was so impressed when and yours sincerely likely may be visiting United States just to further more careers in neurosurgery. Concept of mentor-mentee relationship. Okay, I think, okay, the ranks, rewards, and challenges. I've talked on these. The rewards are enormous. If you are honest, if you are disciplined, you will be rewarded for work well done. The ranks of medicine, very important. Many medical schools does not have this in the curriculum. And it is always good, like when I met Madonna final years in Owerri, the first lecture, I spent time talking on ranking and how you grow, different options of where you can get into. After your first MBBS, that is actually a license to study medicine. Let me make it clear. Those eras in 30 years ago, when you have MBBS, you open a private hospital, you start doing heniography, appendectomy, survival has passed and gone. Because as a young graduate of medicine, having finished your internship, is actually a license for you to now study medicine. And that is to say, to start your residency training, the program that will make you sub-specialize. And the options from the time you have MBBS are in 2 ways or 3 ways. The first way is for your specialization options. And that is to say, as you are ending your housemanship, you can write your primary examination, which is equivalent to JAMB. That primary examination is where Madonna has shocked the world. We were 164 that wrote National Postgraduate Medical Exam and West African College in 2012. In the National Postgraduate College, only 17 people passed. And out of these 17, about 4 were Madonna students. So it is not about where you trained. It is not about where you trained. It's a function of what you know. So don't get, there will be, and as a house officer, I was the house officer representative, an assistant secretary of ARD at FMSO. Somebody asked me, in Madonna, do you people do SUG? How come you've got these skills to control? But it was inherent, in as much as it was suppressed for us because of the chancellor's ideology of cultism, which I left for him. But you see, those factors did not limit us in the leadership scale. I became the house officer's representative. In fact, when he was to round up, I was the national committee chairman of NMA on house officers affairs during Ojima's regime. Where did I train? Madonna University. Were we doing politics here? No. Did this stop me from this leadership and administrative skill? No. So you can see you've got no reason to panic. If you write your primaries and you pass, you become what? A registrar. If you become a registrar after 2 to 3 years, depending on your subspecialty, and you pass, you become a senior registrar. If you become a senior registrar, depending on your subspecialty, like in neurosurgery, it's a total of almost 8 years. You did 6 years to become a doctor. You spend another 8 to 9 years to become a neurosurgeon. Okay? When you now write part 2 and pass, you become a fellow. You need just 1 fellowship for hospital to appoint you a consultant. Just like NECO and JAMB. National Postgraduate Medical College is NECO. West African College of Physicians or Surgeon, like WAEC. For you to enter admission, is it not only 1 you need? So if you have 1 fellowship, hospital will appoint you what? A consultant. Another route to climb, you finish MBBS, I don't have power for residency, I'm interested in academy, MBBS, Masters, PhD in basic medical sciences, you can rise to the level of professor and still make meaningful medical impact in the raising of medical graduates. You can remain in the civil service pathway by becoming a medical officer. You move from a senior medical officer, principal medical officer, chief medical officer, till you retire. So you sincerely choose 2 at the same time. I was able to follow academy to MSc, to PhD, I continued fellowship. So if I did it, you can do it. So that's the question on ranking. So you should know at any point in time when you are finishing where you are headed. I don't like people that doesn't have goal and vision. You don't. I have a classmate that have been saying I will leave this country. This country is used since 2000. We left here 2010. No, but it's disappointing, and I'm not going to call name. Been saying that the country is bad, something is bad. Up to now, no plan. It's still in the country. No residency, no masters. No, you still keep saying the same thing. If you want to leave the country, from the time you're in final year, browse United States medical licensing exam, browse British medical licensing. What does it take to practice medicine in Australia? That's how you know smart and intelligent student. Read what the council of the country is saying. Get prepared. You finish that, the mom sponsor you, take the exam, you move on. In 2-3 months, 1 year, you're already practicing in United States. Not when you keep condemning the country. Go America, he didn't go. Stay Nigeria, he didn't stay. So that's the question to that. Thank you very. Sorry, I took much of you people time. I'm passionate about the students.
Thank you so much, Dr. Mberi. I think if we leave you here, even some people may decide now to go into medicine because of the way you are painting it. Please, at this point in time, we will have to suspend question and answer. I hand over the microphone to the DVC of Madonna University, LLA Campus, Professor Martin Anabuaso, to say something. Tell us how we continue and where we go from here. Prof, sir.
My brother, Dr. Mbieri, just know that Madonna University is proud of you. I'm happy you are seated very close to the oracle himself, whom we will be privileged to listen to in the next 1 hour. We are not surprised with what you're doing, and we just pray Almighty God to give you the strength to continue to do a nice work. Sorry, I'm coming. I have to leave now, but I just wanted to make my remark because by the time I will finish with the father, I'm not sure I will meet up with the program. Dr. Opara, we welcome you. I just want to introduce Dr. Theophilus. Dr. Theophilus Nwokocha. Am I correct? Yes. I'm sure the organizers, Father Syracuse and others, did not the invitation or the notice for this gathering was not well advertised, because I get to speak with some persons and they are surprised to hear that there is a homecoming. But just like Dr. Mbieri said, next time it will be well, we'll articulate it very well. I will even have time. So this is the first time we are organizing this homecoming this way, because it's a directorate under myself. I chair Directorate of Alumni Affairs. The council just approved it sometime 3 or 4 months ago, and we said let's start up something, and that is why this year we have now started by developing a program, a website. Where is David Adeyemo? Come. So this young man, he's a final year pharmacy student, but he is very skilled in ICT, in the field of ICT. In fact, I called him. I said, David, I was discussing with someone, and someone mentioned to me that David, instead of me paying a company to develop a website and portal for alumni affairs that will look into affairs of the alumni, that we have someone that can do it free of charge for the alumni affair. So I was surprised. And I remember the last one we did, we spent millions to develop. And before I could even say Jack, the young man came back after 3 days, says, sir, I'm ready to launch it. Are you ready? I said I was so busy that period. But as we speak now, this present alumnus that will be convocating tomorrow, all their data, he has captured all of them, their profile, developed a Google form where he sent out questions, their profile, and we are ready to go by tomorrow. So what am I saying? Thank you. Just you can sit. This is the true spirit of alumni, and I must say, Mr. Theophilus, come. Theophilus, come. Theophilus, Dr. Theophilus Nwokocha, he met me one day after evening mass in Abuja. I went for a program. I was going. Somebody tapped me. I put hand in my pocket. I wanted to bring out something. But when I look back, it was him. You were surprised that day what I wanted to bring out. But I won't mention it. It was him. He said, my brother, it's good to see you again. After the chat, I told him, I said, I'm in town. I want to see the speaker tomorrow. Speaker of House of Rep tomorrow for our 25th anniversary. He said, if you want to see the speaker, have you made arrangements? I said, I've called. So you don't know that I am the medical doctor in charge of National Assembly Clinic in Abuja. And so you are even going the far way. And one of our colleagues too, a graduate of Madonna University, is the SA to the Senate President on Health Matter. And to be candid, he's even the chief physician to the Senate President. If anything happens to the Senate President there, he is the first person that will attend to him. So we are the ones in charge of this place. So if you want to see the speaker, you let us know that you want to see the speaker, and we'll be proud and we'll be happy to just escort you. So I was surprised. I arrived, I called him from the gate. I didn't even know that he has even given them my name. I got there, I just brought out my card. They say, oh, you are the Deputy Vice Chancellor from Madonna. Go, sir, they are waiting for you. I said, how do you know? He said, they have called us. So, this man you are seeing here, immediately I got there, he brought in the SA to the Senate President. He brought in so many other people. In fact, the entourage that day was many. Madonna University, those doing NYSC, those doing internship, and a whole lot. They accompanied me like a king. We went there, and he had one card with him. Anyway, the door is locked. SSS is always there. He flashes it, it opens. They say, where are these people? They will look at it, okay, he's with me. So why I'm saying this is not just for anything. He told me that whenever an opportunity will come, that he would love to come to Madonna University to speak to his people. And he also made a proposal that he wants the university to join the National Health Insurance scheme, that even if there is nothing he can do, now that he's there, he will do everything humanly possible to assist and support Madonna University, that we cannot spend a dime, so that we have trained them, that it's time for them to give back and also help the college to grow. So I would have loved to stay back to listen to him, but we will still have that time, because after this session, we will join we will all accompany the oracle of the MDCN, the man, if you know what it takes us to bring him here. This man that has spent over 30 to 40 years in MDCN, designing the curriculum program, most of the things you will use in the next 20 years. He's the one that articulated them as a young civil servant in Medical and Dental Council of Nigeria. So you don't know who is here before us. So Theo, I will leave now, but I believe later after the lecture we'll have time to interact and also with our member and take some good pictures. So I hand over to you. Mbieri, don't go without saying me. You know it's an offense. Yes. Thank you, thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Prof. Please permit me to stand on the already established protocol. I have my classmate here, let me start from where I'm comfortable. I have my classmate here, Dr. Para. I greet. VC. Sir. Ikeji. He's my mentor, actually. My mentor. 2 years my senior. Sir, I am surprised to see you sitting beside my mentor. You're welcome, sir. Okay. A few years back, we were here. And today, we are here. So, we have the opportunity to have an environment crafted for a purpose. And no product knows the reason for its being until the product gets to express itself according to the manual of whoever made the product. Sorry, sir. I think I'm the presence of Dr. or Professor Ike. I told Abakaliki, sir. Na St. John. Okay, so sorry, please, bros, put my alarm. 15 minutes. First, that stay students in Madonna University, because all of us are students wherever we are. Whatever they are doing here, call it Jonesing, call it whatever, take it serious. Call it jogging, the compulsory mass, the Jesus I love you, whatever it is, take it serious. You don't know the reason why you should take it serious. We didn't know the reason too, but something will add up to your life. I still remember when I met him in our library in Okeja. He was reading on the gifted hands. And he said he was going to be a neurosurgeon. He is today. Now, I don't know what you are thinking you are supposed to be. I hope that you become that. Amen. Okay, so I will do a quick one. The program is on alumni homecoming, medical homecoming, right? And medical alumni homecoming. And coming home to excellence. Now, I now coined my little discussion on the need to ensure our medical heritage. I heard when my chief was saying that neurosurgery, you can't comfortably handle a patient in neurosurgery without health insurance. So how can you ensure yourself into enjoying this medical heritage we have? Sorry, my prof. Sir Felipe. Sorry, sir. Sorry, sir. So, I'm deeply humbled to be here. So, sorry for the distractions. Let me get the work done. So, by way of introduction, next slide, please. By way of introduction, there is a profound foundational work that has been done in this environment already. That man that is called Father Founder, he has done a lot of foundational work already in this environment. And the foundational work have transformed so many raw materials into excellent products. But then the foundational work from his charism, education, health, he have delivered education. He has produced so many doctors, nurses, whatever. Name them. There are many. Sorry, I don't know whether I can read that, but produced a lot of them. But there is a new challenge. There's a new challenge. And the new challenge is this. We have produced so many doctors, nurses, so many of them have become specialized in so many areas, around the world even. But then the people of God he is caring for, that his target is to mitigate their challenges health-wise. They are still out there dealing with those challenges. From time to time, you will hear him say, people should come and have free medical, whatever, fee or see. He will always use that word. And he will intervene in people's health care. But then how far can that go? How far has that gone? In today's economy, in this today's economy, a study was done 2022, next slide. A study was done 2022 to see how much people pay out of pocket in Nigeria. You go to hospital, you pay cash and you go. In Europe, nobody pays out of pocket. In the Americas, nobody pays out of pocket. So, we found out that about 1.3 million Nigerians pay out of pocket. Get tilted into poverty, having paid out of pocket. Mainly from chronic illnesses, cancers, name them, even neurosurgical cases. An MRI, for you to have an MRI done. If you're a civil servant, if you're earning minimum wage, 70,000, you can't do MRI. And if it is what we decide whether you will live or die, God help you. And so, how do we mitigate this? Nigeria is already the poverty capital of the world, as it is. And many more of us are already tilting into it. What can we do? What can be done? The country have taken an initiative. Just the next slide. Okay, leave it there. There's this poverty cycle. This poverty cycle, there are so many variances of it. I will use myself as an example. Professor Ike knows the Abakaliki man. What poverty meant, what illiteracy meant, and the disease that was with it. When we were in school, I was the only Abakaliki person. So once they are discussing guinea worm, they are people, okay, guinea worm. Thank God for the government that came and eradicated that guinea worm. So this cycle, this is somewhere that comes from where this cycle is a reality. You cannot make it if you are poor, or if you are illiterate, or if you have disease. You can't make it. You have to break the cycle. And some people have the three together. Now, how do we start making people live better? How do we start making people have a decent life? To live outside of poverty. They say $1 $1 something to live above that $1 stuff per day. How do you do that? You need to attack this poverty cycle. Now the Father has given us a foundation, education. How do we now mitigate the disease and what? The poverty itself. This is where I want us to talk about ensuring our way to enjoying the medical whatever, the excellence that we have, according to our topic. The next slide. And so this is talking about the country have woken up to say, okay, let us review the National Health Insurance Scheme and make it better. And they were able to come out with a guideline last year that every Nigerian ought to be captured under a health coverage. Both those that can pay for the premium and those that cannot. But you know, a government problem is slow pace of doing things. Governments can be so slow that before they are ready to eventually intervene, the person they want to help is dead. That is how slow government can be. But we have an advantage. They are only targeting to have 10% of Nigerians be captured in health insurance by 2030. We are less than 5% right now covered by health insurance. And they are targeting what? They are targeting 10%. But I know that I have a father that is somewhere available, and he has the ability of intervening in certain situations. And I don't know how it happens, but the result I know that happens is that those interventions, those circumstances change. Before 99, it was a scary thing for you to reach the stage of writing JAMB to get into a higher institution. Somebody walked the road. He did. Indeed, he did. And eventually, after walking the road, people now started having private universities. Now, every Tom, Dick, and Harry can now have a private university. Somebody did the foundational work. Somebody, after listening to Daniel Schumann, decided to build, what do you call it? A gynecological center. A gynecological center. And few years after that, the federal government built a maternal and child health center in the 36 states plus FCT. I don't know why it's happening like that, but somebody took an initiative and something is happening. Something happened. So this is just a call for you listening to me, and for the same person to also have the opportunity of looking this direction and taking an initiative. Now, whatever initiative you take in the direction, I know. You know, the first one they say is, according to me, I've called the first incidence. I've called the second one, let's say it's a coincidence. Now, if I believe this happens again, if he intervenes in this area, I believe something again will happen. Because the first one would have been a fluke. The second one would have been a fluke. But this, I believe, is not going to be a fluke. The third one, I hope that he will get to intervene. And so, if every one of us here, we are all coming from homes. We have parents, we have siblings. We get them to understand that government have made some things available. And those things can help life be a little easy. There is something, it's not only government workers that can have NHIS. There is a caveat for other companies, for even individuals that are not in government. It's available, it's accessible, but the government is not doing well in letting people know it's available. And it can be useful. But my target now, before I drop the mic, is this. That, just that next slide. The word insurance, it came from is a French root word that was anglicized. It's a word that means insurer. It's a word that means